Hey everyone, happy, what is today? What is today? Is this Tuesday? It must be Tuesday. It's not a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Yes, Tuesday the 16th of March, 2021. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon, 12:34 p.m. Time for the lunch crunch. That's right, Aaron. All right, so we're going to talk about our good friend Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the S&P. We're going to talk about NASDAQ. Those are the ones I'm really interested in. Um, but of course, as we did yesterday, if there's something you want me to take a look at, you can just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to take a look at anything that you want me to take a look at, whether it be stocks, whether it be crypto, Forex, whatever you want me to take a look at, I'll be more than happy to take a look at all of that. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your risk, doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion on the market. If you need access to our Discord, which is how you get access to our indicator, which is how you get access to pretty regular analysis, which is how you get access to the trades that I take. There's a QR code on your screen. There's a link on the screen. There's a link in the video description. I couldn't make it easier if I wanted to. So it's right there for you. We'd love to see you there. And let's go ahead and just move right on in and take a look at the charts. All right, starting here with Bitcoin. All right, so yesterday, very, very interesting. So I'm looking here at the hourly. First thing I want to point out is we did have a little bit of a buy signal here. We had some bullish divergence. We had a buy signal here on our waves indicator. That has come and gone, just for the record. So don't take this video as an announcement that you should be buying Bitcoin. That's not what I'm doing here. But yesterday, let me just go down to a 5-minute here. I want to take a look at this. So yesterday, we were right around, excuse me, we were right around here. And at that point in time, and actually it may have been that we were back here, but one way or another, we were back in this cluster. And when we were there, the first thing that I said was, well, you know, guys, it kind of looks like we're in like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1, A, B, C into the 2, and then we've got a drop down here into the 3, A, B, C into the 4. I was like, yeah, we're going to go down some more. We're definitely going to go down some more. And it was on the video yesterday where I put in this bullish invalidation. Let me go to a 15-minute here so we can see that bullish invalidation level, which is at this pivot right here. So naturally yesterday, I had to take advantage of this opportunity, knowing that we had our bullish invalidation level down there. I had to take advantage of the opportunity and get into a good long position. And you know, we were down here. This is my average entry. So my entry isn't at 53,558 because spot prices and perpetual pricing is not identical. So basically, I'm in at I think 53,649 is my average on Bybit. But I had to take this trade because the risk to reward was just so good, right? So my stop loss is on the other side of the bullish invalidation because occasionally you'll get a wick down below there. So I'm gonna give it that. I'm gonna give it that. But at this rate, what I'm actually planning on doing is moving up my stop loss to at least break even, because this is where we had a pullback, right? We had a push up, pull back, right there. We had another push up and a pullback. This was a good one. It almost went to the 618. So this was a good pullback. And you know, if you weren't in from back here, where you know I made the announcement on Discord, I was like, we need to be buying, layer in your bids. I did not get all of my bids filled. I had some bids that were down here as well, still planning on keeping my stop loss down here. But I was planning on going down a little bit lower if it was going to go down a little bit lower. I think I had down to 52.9, 53,000. It didn't hit down here, but I had enough bids filled that I'm pretty happy with my position. And so far so good. So far so good. A couple things that I want to talk through really quickly. All right, so first off, we have our first move up and we have our pullback. And you see I've got this measured. We hit that 175 perfectly. All right. The fact that we got up there leads me to believe we are more than likely going to hit this target up here, which is at about 58,000. About 58, I think, is where we're going to go. Now, are we going to go up higher than that? I actually think that we are, and I'm going to kind of show you something, which I already have some things outlined on here for you guys to see. I'm going to remove this guy, knowing that this right here is that 2618. But let's just look at this. Now, I don't pull this out very often because, to be quite honest, I think head and shoulders are the stupidest thing when it comes to technical analysis. So I really hesitate to even bring it up. But I have to show this to you guys. So we've got this head right there, and then we have a shoulder right here. All right. So we're not confirmed on this at all, which is, one of the reasons why I hate head and shoulders. But this looks like it. We've got a pretty clear neckline here, right? Yeah, it's slanted, but it doesn't have to be flat, right? It just means that it's a little more bearish, in my opinion. So anyway, I wanted to point this out because when you have something like this, let me just put a trend line on this. So far, we're really honoring this trend line pretty well. This trend line right here, if we can push through this, let me just talk about where we can go from here. So little lesson on head and shoulders. Your target for head and shoulders is basically going to be the length of the head compared to the break of the neckline. All right. So I use this trend-based fib extension tool. I'm going to measure the top of this head right here. Okay. And I'm going to measure it right here straight up as close as I can, being as perpendicular as possible to the angle of the neckline. Take it up there, and then wherever we're going to break out from. Now, obviously, I said this is not confirmed. So this is all assuming we get a confirmation on this, and we do get a breakout. And this is actually where this came from, the push up and then the pullback, right? Wherever this breaks out, which I'm guessing it's going to happen sometime in the next, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours if this happens. We're going to be taking a look for this to go 100% the length of the head compared to the breakout, which there's your 100% right there. That's going to take you up to almost 60K, about 59,750, which is why I've got this arrow right here. It's taking you right around to about right there. Is there anything else that has any confluence there? Well, let's just take a look. I'm going to use my regular fib retracement. We're going to start up here at the top, and then we'll go ahead and tag it. Tag it right up there at the top. Bam, right there. I'll need to fix that. And all the way down here to the bottom. Where's our bottom? About right there, 53,221. Let's get this. Tag it right there. All right. So what is sitting there at the 100? Let me remove this guy. I'm going to remove the 713, which I barely ever use, but let's put the 786 up. The 786 is at 59,840. The 100 is at 59,740. It's a $100 gap there. I believe more than likely what we have completed is, 5 waves down into potentially an A, and then we're going up. We're going to have to figure out how this looks. I'm not convinced that we've created a bottom yet. I'll tell you one thing though. I will be happy to close out this long position at 59,700. I'll be happy to get rid of it from there. Like the entry that we all got, everybody that was willing to take the risk down here is currently being rewarded for it. I'll be happy to take profits up there, even if it means the price continues going up. Let me put this into perspective for you guys. Being long on something does not necessarily mean you have to be leveraged long on something. You don't always have to be in a position. If your bias is this thing is going to continue moving up, don't go to cash. You don't have to be leveraged long, but you're going to be gaining US dollars, which is really the goal for most people. Yeah, you're in it for the technology, whatever that is. You're in it for money, right? You wouldn't put money into something without any financial reward. You're going to be in something to make money. Sure, you can believe in the tech, but if it goes to zero, well, then what did you just do? You just flushed your money down the toilet. You are investing in something to make money. That is why we are in this market. We're in this market to make money. All right? So your value, your USD value, if you believe that this is going to continue to rise, you don't have to be in a leveraged long position. So what I'm saying is if, right, because we're not confirmed, if we make our way up to 59,700, I'm going to close out of my long position. That does not mean I'm going to cash. That just means I'm going to be sitting in Bitcoin. I will make a decision when we get there, if and when we get there, on whether or not I'm going to go short. But I'm going to at least sit in Bitcoin, let that rise, right? That's been the move of the last year. Just at least just sit in Bitcoin. All right. So this is what I think is going on Bitcoin, right? So, again, we've got a clear trend line that we have to break through. And again, I'm referring to this as a neckline. We've got to break up and through it. If we don't, then we're going to go back and we're probably going to invalidate, and I'll probably be cutting losses. If I were to take another trend line from right here, if we start to create this again, this would be more like an A, B, C, D, E, whatever this does would be very bearish. It would be very bearish. If we can't break up above this trend line, that is very bearish. Okay, so just being careful and not overexposing myself. As I told everybody on the Discord, I'm using like 2x leverage here. I'm not levering myself significantly, and I'm not being greedy either. If we don't break up through this trend line, then I'm gonna exit. If we break up above it, well, then I'm gonna be waiting for this guy to push up to 59,700. That's what I'm gonna be looking for, and it's as simple as that. Okay, let's take a look at the S&P. This also is a chart that I put together yesterday. Have not made any changes to it. Let me get this guy right here. All right, let's just take a look at what we've got, because so far things are looking okay. Things are looking okay. Potentially we've got a 1, 2, working on that 3. Working on that 3 up there, right? So we're looking for this guy to go up to 399.50, and then I think we're going to get a pullback. But at this point, I really actually think we're going to push up a little bit more, pull this guy out, and pull that guy out. I think we're probably going to make our way up to potentially 403, 404 on SPY before we get a significant pullback. And I think this significant pullback is going to happen before the end of the month. Now, do I think it's going to happen right now? No. No, I don't. Even though our indicator is showing signs of things being severely overbought, I don't think that we're going to have a significant pullback just quite yet. I think we've got a little ways to go here still before we get up there to wave 3, pull back for wave 4, then we can go up for wave 5. And again, that wave 5, when we do get there, that's going to be on a larger wave 3. Let me just change the colors on this guy. All right, there we go. So just to change the colors on that, I'm not going to dig into that right now because I'm mostly wanting to just talk through where I think things are going to be going here in the short term. And in the short term, first thing, I still believe that we reject right on this side of 400. We might poke through it. We might poke through it, maybe to $400.50. Maybe even to 401. But I tend to believe that right there at that level, and I think it's going to happen just before it, I think we're probably going to get a rejection. I think that's where we get the pullback. All right. I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to have to wait and see what FOMC does this afternoon. I believe they're speaking at 2:30 or so. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But ultimately, this is still intact. It still looks to me like we're moving up, and we're going to, chop a little bit once we get to 400, and then we're going to do that pullback and then make our way back up to what did I say, about 405, 404, 405, somewhere in that range before we get a more significant pullback. Basically, I'm expecting us to go even lower than where we are right now. Okay, so probably 392, 393, maybe even down to 390. It could be that it goes even lower than that. Okay. So this is what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to make another push up, right? I think we're going to finish this count, this 1, 2, working on the 3, 4, then go into the 5, again, taking us up to about 403, 404. Then we see that bigger pullback, maybe to 390, to 392. We'll have to wait and see. We won't know how far back we're going to pull back until we find a pivot point at the top. We need to get a good pivot point at the top, and then we'll figure out where we're going to be pulling back to. And then from there, it's good. Game on. Game on. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. All right, so this guy, we hit our target. This again is a video that I put, or not a video, but a count that I put together yesterday. We hit the target and we rejected at the target right up here at 13, almost 13,300, right? Almost 13,300. So we had this up here. I was like, yep, we're going to get that push up, then we're going to start a pullback. All right, so NASDAQ has been weaker than the S&P. NASDAQ has been weaker. You've heard me say that. If you've watched any of my update videos, you know that I have been saying NASDAQ has been weaker than the S&P. But this looks pretty good. I also, excuse me, I was also saying in the past, NASDAQ has more upside potential than the S&P does from a percentage basis because it has pulled back more. Tech stocks have not done the greatest, but I think that there is going to be a turn here in the near future where we're going to see this pullback, right? I believe that we have topped out on NASDAQ short term. This pullback is going to provide great opportunities to be buying. All right, I still believe that this is the case. How far down are we going to go now that we have a potential top? And I say potential because it is still possible that we go up a little bit higher, but let's just take a look at this. That 382 is sitting right there at 12,864. The 50 is right here at 12,736. If you want a long NASDAQ, I mean, you've got the Qs, you've got TQQQ, you've got a lot of options here. Wait for the pullback, buy the pullback, which in my opinion would be the wave 2. That wave 2 is going to be an opportunity for you to get in on a bigger ride up. If you take that TQQQ just as an example, and let's say we take it right here from the 382, and you go up here to our target, I mean, that's 12.93% just straight equity. We're talking like 30 to 35% that you'd be able to take on TQQQ. Okay, you can't just multiply by 3 because it's a leveraged asset which does have a little bit of decay overnight naturally. So I'm not expecting this to go up, 39%. I'm pulling off a couple percent just to be a little conservative on it. But ultimately, that's the move that you want to take, right? Take the move from wave 2 to wave 3, and then get rid of it for the pullback, and maybe you play one more time for wave 5, which again, wave 5, still looking at this guy all the way up here at 14,750, 14,800. If it takes a little bit longer, we can see this guy going up to 15K. Easily, I can see this guy going up to 15K. But ultimately, throughout the rest of the year, I'm going to be watching for this guy to go up above 16. Above 16. But baby steps, right? Baby steps. Unless you just want to buy and hold, you just got to wait for a significant pullback. Like, back here, this would have been a good place to just buy and hold, right? You can totally do that on QQQ. Just buy and hold and just let that guy go up. TQQQ could probably work for that as well, but you still have that small level of decay, and then if you get the pullbacks, it's up to you. Whatever, pick your poison. So anyway, this is what I believe that we've got for NASDAQ. We've got our bullish invalidation. That's all the way down here at about 12,200. But ultimately, I'm still pretty bullish on the markets, on all of them, at least for right now, until I'm proven otherwise. Until we have some of our bullish invalidation levels breached, I have no reason to be extremely bearish as of yet. So that's what I've got for you. Thought I'd keep it real quick and simple today, 20 minutes or less. There we go. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you need access to our Discord, you know the deal. There's a link in the video description for you to get access to the Discord. It'll give you access to our indicators if you become a member. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good